Hello Flickering Myth family and all you Batman super fans out there. My name is EJ and welcome to our channel. In this video, we are taking another trip to Gotham City, but this time through animation. Yes, we are talking about the series Batman Caped Crusader. It feels like a bit of deja vu reviewing a new version of a series that I once loved as a kid. Yes, following in the footsteps, but not really, I don't want to confuse the two. Following in the footsteps of X-Men 97, we have Batman Caped Crusader, which feels like a successor, a spiritual like brother or sister to Batman the Animated Series, much like X-Men 97 was a follow-up to the original X-Men the Animated Series. I love that we're getting this. It feels like I don't know, it feels nostalgic to me. It feels like they are definitely, trying to do the memory berries of, oh, do you guys remember when you loved this series? But I love the new updates of this. I loved it with X-Men, and with Batman Caped Crusader, my goodness, what a lovely dive into the early days of Gotham. I am a big Batman fan. This has been kind of my superhero, at least my default superhero, for quite some time. Since Batman the Animated Series and Batman Returns coming out around the same time when I was a kid, my life was forever changed. Now with this new series, it feels like a great continuation of that. It feels like old school Saturday morning cartoon, but with a more adult edge to it. It feels like a cop drama told through animation, which I love. That is, to me, that's what Batman should be all about. This series is great. It's smart, it's witty, it's well animated, it's well acted. It's an overall great experience. So in this spoiler-free video, I'm going to break down why I like it, some of my biggest moments, some of my biggest characters that I love, and we'll talk about the overall feel that it gives me. So tune in for this video and let's talk about this awesome series right now. Batman Caped Crusader feels like a wonderful mix of old and new Gotham. We have familiar stories with a new twist on them. Yes, this is definitely like I said, a successor, the same vibe as Batman the Animated Series, but it doesn't feel like a lazy rehash or just a legacy sequel or anything like that. It's its own thing. It's noir, it's classic, but I think it's smart. You took what worked for Batman the Animated Series, something we all loved, but we updated it. We gave it a new flair, a new edge, and it really works for me. Something about it, it feels, again, like I said, familiar. I know these stories, I know this universe, but there's just an edge to it that you're like, oh, that's different. Like, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but we have, IGN released it, or one of the publications released it during Comic-Con, that we have Oswalda Cobblepot, a new penguin that is just, a female penguin, basically, the mom of what we would maybe see later on. I love that. I thought that was fun. I thought it was different. We get a little different twist of like a Harley Quinn here. None of this to me is like shattering source material or disrespecting the legacy, that we once created. I'm not one of those people. It definitely is a change. So if you are a purist in every form, this might be a little bit challenging for you. But if you're looking for Batman to feel fresh, to feel reinvented, but still have a classic noir, still have that classic Batman vibe that you want, this is for you. One of my favorite things about this is the gallery of heroes and rogues. My goodness, first and foremost, Batman, Bruce Wayne in this series, it's amazing. Hamish Linklater, I believe, is the voice actor behind this character. My goodness, the voice is there. It's not Kevin Conroy. It was never going to be Kevin Conroy. You know what I mean? I think we've had great Batman voice actors in the history, so we should respect the new ones that we get. And this is a great voice performance. It's a great character as well. Bruce and Batman are early into their work here. This isn't, Batman year one. This is like Batman week 2, and I kind of like that because he's fresh. He's not perfect. He's not, he's not the Batman that is very well into his system, into his vibes. This is a Batman that is a little rough around the edges. He's still figuring it out, but he still has that compassion. He still has that detective skills that we absolutely need. This is like the perfect era of Batman for me. It's why I liked Matt Reeves' The Batman with Robert Pattinson so much. It's rare to see Batman this early into his career, where, he still has some kinks to work out. He's not perfect. There's a time in this series where Bruce Wayne punches somebody for talking about his mother. Yes, he's always been very emotional about that, but he wouldn't usually let it unfurl like that. And I thought that was so interesting to see that Bruce is still a bit raw. He's still a bit sensitive, and that plays into his Batman as well. This is a guy who is figuring out the lay of the land with Gotham, trying to figure out what the hell to do in this world, and he's doing it well, but it's hard, and he's having to face off with Gotham PD, who is against him. But we have great Barbara Gordon and Commissioner Gordon here. My favorite of the Gordons I think I've ever seen. I absolutely love Commissioner Gordon in this show. It's a big thing. I will say the cop drama is a big part of this. If you are not a GCPD kind of person, this series might be a little harder to get into at times because, again, it's Barbara Gordon, Renee Montoya, we getting like Bullock, we're getting the whole GCPD vibe and seeing how corrupt that's there, seeing how Gordon has to figure out how to make, the higher-ups happy, but also work with Batman because Batman's actually getting shit done. It's a very interesting dynamic, and I love the hero side of it. But our rogues, each episode is like a monster of the week. Think of like Buffy, X-Files, shows like that where we would get a new bad guy each week, but we have an overarching series story. That's what happens here. We have a story we're telling. Each episode kind of builds on one another, but each episode also gets its own villain, its own time to shine, and I thought that was so interesting. It really allowed me to fall in love with some of the rogues that I've already loved, or fall in love with new ones. Gentleman Ghost, I had no idea who that character was. That's probably my favorite episode that I had seen because it was so horror based. It was so supernatural, which feels so perfect for what we're doing with, with Batman in general. I also love the Catwoman episode. I love the Harley Quinn episode. There's a Firebug episode. There's all these little characters that get time to shine, and it's amazing. But again, it's not like they're, one and done characters, that we're building on stuff. If we saw a character maybe in episode 2, maybe they get a whole episode for themselves in episode 7. It's a good build. It's a good way of structuring the show, and it's why it's so addictive to watch. I'm not a binge person, but I watched all 10 of these episodes very quickly, and I was so hungry for more Batman Cape Crusader when it was done, and that is a good sign. One thing I will say about the show, just to prepare yourself, think of it as a mature Saturday morning cartoon. It is still animation, it's still fun, it's still vibrant, it still grabs you in, but it's very adult, it's very crime drama, it's very, the dark side of Gotham, which isn't normally like a kid-friendly thing, but I still say grab your bowl of cereal, watch this with a friend, talk about it. It is so addictive. I mean, great animation, great voice acting, great use of the aesthetic. I love like the noir vibe. I think it's so interesting. I just overall think it's really good. It's polished. It sucks you in. It's also great action, but it feels like it's a more story-based series. We've seen Batman fight a lot. Batman, the animated series, Robert Pattinson's Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman, and the Zack Snyder universe. We have seen Batman kick some ass, but I've never seen Batman really get to do a lot of detective work, a lot of just nitty-gritty crime drama, and that's what makes this shine so much. I think that's what makes Cape Crusader so different and makes it so unique and makes it so worthwhile. It has that classic cartoon feel that you love from your childhood. But as we've grown up, we need something more mature with our storytelling. And this is that exact level up of storytelling Batman has needed for some time. Alright everyone, that is it for my review of Batman Cape Crusader. Try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, because boy, this series is so worth the watch. It's fresh, it's different, but it's classic. We know what to expect, but it's done in a new way. So many good characters to fall in love with. Like I said, watch out for the Gordons, some of my favorite depictions of them. I love this version of Batman. Just overall, a great experience. I hope you all enjoy it when it drops on Amazon this week. I believe Thursday, August 1st is when it drops. Make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you guys come and comment on my review if you liked it, if you didn't like it. Share your thoughts, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to Flickering Myth, and let's talk about Batman Cape Crusader and all Gotham goodness right down below.